I work security at Disney World, the happiest place on earth, some people say. Typically, I wouldn't say where I work, as obviously there's some pretty strict rules, as you can imagine, with Disney about things the place can put online. But I don't think I can tell this properly without that context. And honestly, I think this may be it for me anyway with this job, as I just put in my 2 weeks notice a few days ago. I just can't see myself working here any longer now. On with the story. I've been in the company for 23 years. The first 20 years I worked in the parks, nabbing shoplifters and rounding up people who were drinking too much for the heat. Occasionally there'd be a fight to break up, but people usually kept it pretty mild for me. The heat and walking everywhere and being on my feet a lot were getting too much for me the last few years, so I asked to be transferred somewhere with air conditioning, and the company luckily moved me to one of their resorts. The working conditions were 110% better as far as climate and comfort go. The guest issues were a little bit trickier, mainly domestics. I guess the expensive and the stress of a vacation got to a lot of people, and I'd be called by neighboring rooms because some mom and dad were yelling at each other or something nearly like that. I tried to suggest they take a nap or go do separate activities a bit, and that would usually calm them down and solve any dispute they had. But none of that is what I'm here for. I've got to get this out while I have time, before I forget. 3 days ago, I got a call from management. Apparently, a couple of days before that, housekeeping had gone into a room that should have been turned over that day. Turned over is, when a guest leaves by 11 a.m. for checkout, and then the next guest check out around 3 p.m. Basically, it's just, it's getting the room set for a new party of guests. And all of the guest items were still in the room. Housekeeping made a note of it and moved on, but during the next few days, when they entered the room, everything was still there and untouched. I went to check it out though, and sure enough, there's a room full of luggage, clothes, snacks, and toys, everything a family would need for a vacation. The manager had already looked up the previous reservation, and it was for a family: dad, mom, 2 little kids. I tried to call the phone numbers they had given, but all I got was just a voicemail. We were a bit stumped, so I made the call that the housekeeper could clean the room and take the family's personal items to be held until we got in contact with someone. I went digging into the reservation more. The family had arrived 5 days before housekeeping discovered all of their stuff. I found that the family had paid a parking fee and their vehicle description was listed. Quick walk to the parking lots easily located their vehicle, so that ruled out a car accident or them deciding to just leave all their stuff behind, or just dipping. Next, I saw they had bought a dining plan. This is so a dining plan. This is when a guest prepays for all of their food. They're given a certain number of quote-unquote credits to use for meals. 1 credit equals 1 meal for 1 person. This family had only used 3 credits, and the last one was 2 days after they checked in. It appeared that the day they arrived, they got here late and probably just stayed at the resort, as the parks were pretty much going to be closed within the next hour. The next day, they used 2 credits at Epcot. The second day, they used just 1 credit at the Magic Kingdom, and it was breakfast time. Now, at Disney, we have something called magic bands, alright? And magic bands are worn by the guests, and they act as a room key, park ticket, credit card, dining reservation payment, fast pass. Basically, it's basically just a quote-unquote bracelet that you could use that basically, access the room key, the parking ticket, the credit card, the dining reservation payment, fast pass. It basically does everything. It took some work, but I was finally able to look up this family's fast pass history. The day they went to Magic Kingdom, they had breakfast at a restaurant in the park, rode a couple of rides, and then rode their last ride as a Small World around 11 a.m. Then, nothing. Just nothing. Finally, it was time to bring in someone else on this. I called an old co-worker at the Magic Kingdom and asked him if he could pull the security footage for Small World. At the time, they wrote, and I made my way over there. When I got there, my friend was very confused, almost distraught, looking. He showed me what he found. There's usually a camera in the direction of where the rides load and unload. The footage showed them scanning their bands to use fast passes for the ride, boarding the ride. The footage from the exit of the ride showed the other people in the car exiting, and they weren't there. Of course, we thought the worst. Maybe one of the kids had fallen out, or mom and dad. The other kid got off in the middle of the ride to help out, and the other got injured, killed, destroyed by machinery somewhere. So we decided to shut down the ride in the middle of the damn day. Turned off that earworm music and turned off the lights. Now, I know people like the music, and in the beginning I did, but after working here for years, I couldn't stand it. My buddy and I walked that ride 3 times before we called in help. Eventually, we were close to 10 cast members searching for this goddamn shit. Except, we didn't find anything except for 3 cell phones and a hat. I was stumped, rightfully so, I believe. I kept digging the past couple of days, and I'm not sure who to tell what I found next to. I called the police, and I suppose they're on their way, but the company has a way of covering up things like this. Of course, it's Disney, and I decided I can't live with myself. I don't put out some type of warning. I kept digging into the reservation, though, over the last couple of days, and today I noticed they purchased a memory maker. So, memory makers there are photographers or photographers all over the park, and cameras in a lot of the rides with memory makers. The photos are all free. I'm having to get added to a guest Disney account when the system knows the picture I've been taken, and the system always knows. Everyone's whereabouts are always known in the Magic Bands. They purchased a Magic Maker, basically, while it is digital and it is free, though, if you want the physical pictures, then you would buy, a Magic Maker. That's what they did. A Memory Maker, sorry, that's what they did. Well, I opened up the Memory Maker photo album. I swear, there are 732 fucking pictures. The first 30 or so are pretty normal. Epcot, a few rides in front of the castle, but the rest are all in It's a Small World. Here's the weird part. That means that there were 700 or so pictures of the ride, as the ride only takes 1 picture per go-around, so it appears as though this family has ridden the ride over 700 times. The first picture was pretty normal. Everyone looked happy. It was a busy day and full car of guests. The next one is a little bit rough to look at. I'm not going to show it, but the car is empty except for this little family, and they look so darn confused. The next 10 to 15, I can see Dad getting angry, yelling. Mom is holding on to her 2 kids like life depends on it. And you can see the kids getting increasingly upset, crying, and it goes on and on and on. And after 50 or so, it looks like they're trying to get out. In one, the dad is missing, and another, they're all gone. Maybe like they bailed early in the ride and tried to walk out, but in the very next one, they're all right back in the damn car. After around picture 450 or so, I only see the mom and kids. It was just when I look closely, I can see Dad. Maybe just his body now, just slumped down in one of the other seats. Since about 675, there had just been a kid and his mom. Another body in another seat. The mom and kid aren't moving anymore. I think they're still alive, just damn near, straight ahead, pale, and just frozen. And yeah, I swear on my life, the dolls are moving or something. And some of these pictures, I can tell they aren't where they should be. I even saw one with the doll in the car with the family. What the fuck? I can't look anywhere else. I'm going to lose my lunch. I closed the album. This file says it's increased since I closed it. Oh my god. What? There are new pictures being added. But the Small World is closed. At least it was last time. I see on security cameras the local police department just arrived, so they'll be able to take over soon. I wish I knew what was going on, but I also wish the stamp thing never landed in my lap. I don't think I'll be able to, update this as after I talk to the police, though, and because, I don't really work for Disney anymore, and I don't really want to know what happens after this. I just want to get this out there before Disney feeds the media some lies, cover up the reason behind why a whole family vanished. Just know they didn't vanish. I know exactly where they are, and where they are is unimaginable.